Welcome, foolish mortals, to Count Gauntly's Horrors from the Public Domain. I am your host, Count Simon Gauntly, and each episode I'll be leading you on a journey through the history of film. Specifically, we'll be exploring that eldritch abyss known as the public domain. These are films forgotten by time or abandoned by their creators. The strange, the horrifying, the poorly and cheaply produced. All of these are the purviews of the public domain. So what are we waiting for? Come, join me in my crypt. It's bigger on the inside. Come, join me.
There lived a man so long ago, Count Gauntly was his name. His horror host abilities had brought him wide acclaim. The people flocked from miles around each Gauntly movie night, not knowing that the films he showed infringed on copyright. Upon discovering this fact and learning it was true, an angry mob of lawyers formed with pitchforks, torches too. They tracked the Count and sought to stop his movie hosting ways, and torches blazing put an end to Gauntly's earthly days. But our man was too resilient to let death be the last word. He stirred, sat up upon his slab and vowed he must be heard. So he stocked his tomb with gadgets from the local studio, intent on showing movies on an awesome TV show. But he had to find a legal way, so Gauntly racked his brain. 'Twas then he learned of something called the public domain. Now here he is, the time has come, his dreams are coming true. Count Gauntly's here to share a film in hopes that you won't sue.
Greetings, viewer, and welcome once again to Count Gauntly's correspondence course on valuable life lessons, teaching you everything you need to know for your mortal existence that lies ahead. After all, who better to look to for wisdom and advice than someone like me, Count Gauntly, who has everything figured out here beneath the ground in my subterranean lair? Well, we've got a diverse curriculum to attack today. A lot of things to look at and learn about and do. All things from the realms of history and cosmological exploration. But there's only so much that we can cover in a single installment, so let's begin with the physics of springs. Now, you might not think about it, but mechanical springs reside in just about everything that you use in your daily life. If it's a machine, it's got a spring in there. Things like bathroom scales and shock suspension on automobiles. And now a spring is a very specific sort of machine, fairly simple, but it is versatile. And it abides by something that is befitting our horrific subject matter called Hooke's Law. Now, Hooke's Law says that F equals minus kx. The further that you stretch a spring, the more the energy inside it builds up, and the more force it exerts on anything it's pulling against. Now, for a lesson on springs in action, we are going to spring into action with a demonstration of my insane pogo-sticking abilities. Join me over there, won't you? Behold, a pogo stick. Now let's pogo. Now you always want to exercise Only the highest in safety precautions, of course. But you're learning with the best here. You know, they say, don't try this at home. But how are you ever gonna get good unless you try this at home? So, you heard it here first, kids. You got Gauntly's permission to bounce around and become strong of leg. Woo! Woo! That's lesson number 1.
I'm sorry, but Gilbert won't be able to play with you boys till later this afternoon. He's doing some work for me.
Springs. I hope I never see another spring as long as I live.
So, you never want to see another spring, eh? Okay, mister, I'll fix it so you get that wish.
Who are you?
The name's Coily. Coily the Spring Spike, they call me. I heard your wish, and, well, you're going to get it. No more springs for you from now on. No springs. No springs. No springs. Hey, the door. No springs. No springs, my friend. No springs. No springs.
Oh, gee, Coily, I didn't realize what I was wishing. I'm sorry for everything I said. Can't we call the whole thing off? Isn't there anything I can do? Please let me take back my wish.
Well, okay. I'll do it just this once. But next time, be careful. Don't ever make that wish again.
You see, fellows, the scientific principle of a spring is to absorb energy and then to release it. That's all there is to it.
Too bad, Joe.
Yeah.
Nice shot.
Yes, it was. But if it wasn't for the amount of spring in the club shaft, combined with the spring of the rubber inside the ball, that drive wouldn't have gone anywhere at all. You see, all spring action depends on elasticity, the ability of material to return to its original form after it's been forced out of shape. You know, like the action of a springboard. And when you stop to think about it, even the ground, the earth, is like a huge spring. It has the ability to absorb a blow and then transmit the shock from one point to another. And that's exactly what a spring is supposed to do. Transmit shock from one point to another.
Okay, but let's get on with the game.
You don't realize the number of springs that work for us every day. Why, there's a little spring in your cigarette lighter, and the spring in your pencil clip, and the huge springs that cushion the railroad trains. Why, I could name thousands of everyday uses for springs.
Don't bother.
I never realized until lately that springs have such a universal use. Why, there's springs in mouse traps, guns, exercisers, hinges, pogo sticks. Why, it's practically impossible to name a single thing in which some sort of spring isn't essential, in one way or another. Take that plane up there, for instance. It's got a set of shock absorbers on the wheels that depend on heavy springs controlled by a hydraulic arrangement. When the ship lands, the springs ease the shock so much you can't even tell when you're on the ground. And as far as an automobile is concerned, why, I wouldn't even attempt to tell you how many various kinds of springs are used, in addition to the springs and shock absorbers. Good. You know, the trouble with people like you guys is that just because most springs are usually hidden, you seldom think of the important part they play in the regular operation and enjoyment of our cars. For instance, just take those springs I mentioned a while ago. The springs that are built under the car to provide complete riding comfort. Spiral coil springs and the knee action in front balance the weight of the car with soft leaf springs in the rear, so that the body always rides along on an even keel. Can you imagine what it would be like riding along a rough road like this without those special springs? And then, too, the springs in the seat and back cushions take up any other little bumps that get through to the body of the car. Yes, sir, as far as riding comfort is concerned, the tires, the cushion springs, and the special springs under the car all combine to give us a ride that can't be topped. Hey, Joe, wake up. Wake up, fellows.
Well, that didn't take long.
You played a great game, boy, but you lost. What you need is a little more spring in the old...
Very funny. You and your springs, I hope I never see another...
Stop! Don't say it. Don't ever wish anything like that as long as you live.
Yes, springs certainly play a valuable part in our day-to-day lives. Where would we be without them? I guess now we know. But physics, in the sense of coming from a textbook, it can seem dry and very academic. Sometimes you need to go outside the classroom for your life lessons. This is back to school time, and it's not all spent in the class. Sometimes you get up and you move around and you get some physical education. Get that good exercise to build strong bones. And so, our friend the critic, though he couldn't join us here today, provided me a little something from his family archives. It's a film on the finer points of bowling, starring his own grandfather. So we have a familial connection to the public domain today. And in the name of sharing and learning with all of you at home, I've set up a little bit of improvised bowling here. It could be possible that I need to learn a little bit more about the official rules, but I think I've more or less got it. I've got a ball here that is filled with spiders, actually. I mean, we couldn't very well just have a normal bowling ball. It needs to be spooktacular, and they're rolling around in there. You see, little spiders. Yes. Because this is Count Gauntly's, and we have to deliver a memorable experience. So I've got my spider sphere here. I've got some cinematic red cone-like objects over there. I'm going to scoot my chair back a little bit, give us an even playing field, make sure that it's fair. And I'm going to see what I can do here. Hopefully no gutter balls. No gutter, no gutter, no gutter. Woo! Okay. I feel the thrill of athleticism just coursing through my veins. And now, with some tips and tricks from those old pros, here's hoping that you do as well. Enjoy.
Maybe you've never been in a bowling establishment before. Or perhaps you have, and it wasn't this kind of place. The carefully supervised kind that millions of discriminating bowlers take for granted today. In the approved places, where bowling is best, you'll always find a healthful, wholesome, family environment. Maybe you're afraid to try to learn to bowl. It's really quite simple. Actually, every person has the makings of a good bowler. Anybody can master the fundamentals of the game and, with consistent practice, become competent at it. How can you know for sure? Just look at the amazing variety among bowlers. Every size, age, kind, breed, and class from all walks of life. Every type imaginable. 20 million men, women, and children in America are regular bowlers. They make the game our country's most popular participating sport. Bowling is a healthful recreation that the whole family can take part in and enjoy together all year round. If so many millions of folks of every possible description can and do bowl and get so much fun out of it, it's a cinch you can learn to bowl and enjoy it too. First thing you have to do is change to bowling shoes. Street shoes are not allowed on the lanes.
Hey, Peg, let's get a move on. They won't hold that lane for us forever.
Oh, why don't you three go ahead and bowl without me? I'll have more fun just watching.
Hey, what kind of talk is that?
Bowling's a snap, Peg. You'll see. It's fun. Come on, let's live it up a little.
Nothing to it. We'll teach you all you have to know in 2 minutes flat. Once we get out there, that is.
Come on, Peg, let's give it a whirl. We'll never know till we try.
That's the spirit. We'll have both you bowling like champions in no time at all.
Lives there a bowler of any degree who doesn't fancy himself an expert? Especially when it comes to giving advice about the game. Every member of the Bowling Proprietors Association provides a complete assortment of top-quality bowling balls for your use. If you bowl regularly, it's advisable and more convenient to own your personal ball and shoes. See the desk man if you wish to buy them. He's set up to fit you quickly and accurately. The main idea is to knock down all 10 pins with one roll of your ball. Do that and you've got a strike. Oh, too bad. We know, not warmed up yet. When your first roll doesn't get all the pins, you bowl the same ball again to complete your turn. If all pins are down after the second roll, you've scored a spare. Otherwise, your turn is scored as an error, and it's the next bowler's turn to take a crack at all 10 pins. These two regulars could use some instruction instead of trying to give it. If they could bowl like they can alibi, what stars they'd be. There must be an easier way to learn to bowl. There sure is. The first time you go bowling, tell the desk man right off the bat that you've never bowled before. If you're in a place that belongs to the Bowling Proprietors Association, he'll see to it that you get some expert coaching. It doesn't have to be like this. This is learning to bowl the hard way. And you develop bad bowling habits in the process. What an alibi artist. The Bowler's Lament. A sad, sad song indeed. Enough's enough. What say we knock it off and start all over again? Let's just imagine that our little party is joined by two of the ablest bowlers and bowling teachers of all time, Ned Day and Marion Latawig. Of course, you don't have to have personal coaching from famous professionals to learn to bowl or improve your game. Your nearest Bowling Proprietors Association member can provide you with good bowling instruction. But let's see how Marion Latawig and Ned Day go about it. When you take your ball from the return rack, put your palms on the exposed sides and lift up. Any other way, you risk getting your fingers painfully pinched. The first principle of good bowling is a confident, comfortable grip in a well-fitting ball. Most bowlers use the popular three-finger grip. Thumb and two middle fingers in the ball, with the other fingers comfortably spread, not bent nor curled under. In a well-fitting ball, the holes permit free and easy thumb and finger movement. With the thumb in its hole, the middle joints of the fingers should be over the inner edges of the finger holes. The key to good bowling is timing, the coordination of footwork and arm swing in the approach and delivery. timing can make or break a bowler. Smooth, rhythmic footwork is fundamental. Let's take the basic four-step approach. Just the footwork. Right-handed bowlers step off with the right foot. Left-handers with the left foot. Right, left, right, and slide on the left. Okay, let's take it again. This time at a leisurely, normal walking pace. 1, 2, 3, slide. Don't be afraid to get down close to the floor in that slide. Being comfortable and relaxed are essential to good bowling. The main point is to make the approach with an easy, unhurried, rhythmic walk. Speed is not necessary. Hey, take it easy, boy. Unhurried, remember? Don't charge in your approach. Just use a nice, normal walking pace. Your slide must always end short of the foul line. If you step on the foul line or over it, you're penalized. A few practice approaches will show you where to start from. It depends on the length of steps you take. Your stance must be relaxed and feel natural for you, but be precise too, comfortable but not casual. A correct stance is essential to good coordination in your approach. When you take your stance, check yourself on these points. Body almost erect, leaning a bit forward. Shoulders and hips square with your line of approach. Eyes fixed on your target. Knees bent slightly, with your weight equally distributed on both feet, which are comfortably set no more than a few inches apart. Toes pointing at your target, starting foot slightly behind the other. Hold the ball directly in front of you, anywhere between belt high and shoulder high, at a comfortable distance from your body, with the ball's weight supported mostly by your non-bowling hand. That's got it, gal. A mighty lovely stance. The push-away starts the arm swing. Whatever height you hold the ball, push straight out. Whoop, not like that. Never upward. Push it straight out away from you. Straight out to full arm's length. Let the ball's own weight start it downward and swing it like an easy-going pendulum. There's no need to strong-arm the ball. Its momentum carries it to the top of the backswing. Its weight sends it through the forward swing. You don't have to force the ball nor throw it. After you push away, let your ball do the work. Good bowling does not depend on physical strength. Now, let's coordinate the timing of arm swing and footwork. The push-away is the trigger of the approach. Push-away and takeoff start simultaneously. This is the key to good timing. Watch it in slow motion now. Ball and foot start together. The ball moves through to the top of the backswing at the end of the next to last step, so the forward swing and slide begin simultaneously. The end of the slide and the release occur together. This is the explosion point that gives authority to a good bowler's delivery. Let's take the slide and release again. The forward swing and slide start together. As the foot stops and the hand starts the upswing, the thumb, and then the fingers slip out of the ball. Watch that again. The ball is not thrown. The hand simply lets it slide away as the arm swings up. Look at that follow-through. The development of a good follow-through is neglected by far too many bowlers. Yet the effective value of an excellent approach can be canceled by a poor follow-through. When you follow through, let your arm swing up until it's reaching for the target. Be sure your arm is reaching for the target when your follow-through ends. Here's the follow-through again. Arm reaching for the target, eyes aiming steadily, all helping to direct the ball. Now let's take a close look at our target. 10 big fat pins just asking for it. The numbers on these pins designate the pin spots. Ordinarily, the spot number does not appear on the pin. For right-handed bowlers, the strike target is the 1-3 pocket. The bowler's primary aim is to fit the ball neatly into the strike pocket. The straight ball and the hook ball are the two types most commonly bowled. The straight ball is easier to handle and guide until a bit more experience and control are acquired. It's held with the thumb on top, aiming at the target, and released with no twist nor lift. The straight ball is bowled from almost the corner of the lane on a straight line to the target. This is the straight ball path. The hook ball starts closer to mid-lane, travels almost straight until it nears the pins, then hooks into the target. After you master the straight ball, you can develop your hook ball. Most experts prefer it. The hook ball is bowled with the V formed by the thumb and forefinger, in line with the right shoulder and aiming at the target. This hand position helps put a natural English on the ball when it's released, causing it to hook. Let's watch the hook ball release in slow motion. The lifting action of the upswinging fingertips leaving the side of the ball imparts the English, or hook action. The hook ball enters the pocket from a wider angle, causing less ball deflection and more mixing action in the pins. That's why the experts prefer it. There are two popular aiming methods, pin bowling and spot bowling. In pin bowling, you keep your eye fixed on the pins and aim directly at them. Pin bowling is best for beginners. It's natural to look and aim at the object one's trying to hit. Spot bowling presumes that a closer target is easier to hit. We'll use this one to demonstrate. Spot bowling also assumes you've mastered a uniform approach. Your footwork has to start and stop at the same point each time. You pick a spot where you know if you bowl exactly over it, you'll hit the pins you're after. To spot bowl a strike ball, most bowlers use this built-in spot right here. Each time you bowl, you fix your eyes on the spot, not the pins, and aim to bowl over it. The exact location of the spot varies with the bowler. With practice and experience, you simply pick out a spot that works best for you. Whether you pin bowl or spot bowl, use a straight ball or hook ball, The main thing is to fit that ball neatly into the strike pocket. Of course, every bowler, even a star, faces a lot of spares. Consistent spare shooting is what builds a bowler's average. Making or missing a spare or two can win or lose a match. Concentrate as hard on a spare as you do on a strike. Harder, maybe. The stars have a motto. Make sure you get your spares. The strikes will take care of themselves. Spares are shot from 3 basic angles. One is the 5-pin angle. It's bowled from almost center lane, just about like a strike. Use this 5-pin angle for all middle alley spares. Then there's the 7-pin angle, bowled from the right corner of the lane, cross alley to the left. The 7-pin angle is used on all left of lane spares. And there's the 10-pin angle. From the left corner, cross alley to the right. This 10-pin angle is for all right side spares. The cross alley idea is fundamental. Shoot all off-center spares from the opposite corner of the lane. Hold it a moment there. This is a right side spare, so you start from left of center. Angle your body to face the spare, shoulders square with it. Walk straight toward it, bowl cross alley, and follow through on the same line. That's the way to do it. A left side spare this time. Start from the opposite corner, facing the spare cross alley, shoulders square with it. Walk directly at it and follow through on the same angle. Nice going. And here's a middle alley spare. She bowls it almost center lane from about her normal strike shooting position. Bowling is easy when you apply a few simple fundamentals that anybody can master. After you've learned the fundamentals, further improvement comes only with consistent practice on a regular schedule. Nothing can take the place of practice for increasing your bowling skill. The once-a-week league bowler should get at least twice a week practice between league sessions if he wants to up his average. About 2.5 million of America's bowlers are small pin enthusiasts. Duck pin bowling is the most popular of the small ball, small pin varieties of the game. Most of the fundamentals are the same in all varieties of bowling. In the small ball games, you use the same basic approach. Of course, the small ball requires a different grip and release. The ball is held the same natural way you pick it up off the rack. You grip it with the fingers and thumb. It does not rest in the palm of the hand. It is held equally balanced in both hands. Slow motion now. Watch the release of the ball. It rolls off the fingertips with no twist of the wrist. Here's the release again. Straight off the fingertips, the back of the hand parallel with the floor. In duck pins, the beginner should bowl a straight ball, cross alley to the strike pocket. Many duck pin experts bowl a break ball. It's rolled down the middle of the lane. The break ball's effective, but it's not for beginners. Too tricky. Be sure you're proficient with a cross alley straight ball before you try to bowl the break ball. When you've mastered the fundamentals, increasing your duck pin average is strictly a matter of regular, frequent practice and more practice. To get the most possible enjoyment out of your bowling, by all means join a team and bowl in a league. See the desk man for information about this. Nothing can top the excitement and satisfaction of being a regular, competing in team play. There are certain points of etiquette you should observe. Simple courtesies of the game toward your fellow bowlers. Arrive early and be prepared to start on time. And throughout the game, be ready to bowl whenever it's your turn. Never interfere in any way with another bowler, especially the one on the lane to your right. If he's taken his stance, don't do anything that might distract him. Let him bowl before you proceed. When you get a bad break, don't lose your temper. You spoil the game for others and your own bowling suffers. After you've bowled, quickly get back out of the way and be sure you stay on your own approach path. Everyone can enjoy the rich satisfactions that bowling offers. It's a friendly, family sport that anybody can fit into. It's a daytime, nighttime, year-round participating sport that offers more steady, wholesome recreation to more people than any other. 20 million regular bowlers confirm this. Bowling gives you all the benefits of consistent, healthful exercise without strain, so you can enjoy it all the years of your life.
Okay, so we went out into the field of competition and we got some exercise. But, you know, sometimes in the hectic modern world, you feel like your efforts are not recognized, that your contributions are not valued, that the world just treats you like a piece of meat. But you know what? You have value, and so does meat, and so does capitalism. Even though it may not seem like it treats you well, there's a place for everyone to exert their own skill and talent and effort and make a name for themselves. Now, you might not know exactly what I mean, but I have a film to show that will teach you all about the importance of working hard and the meat industry and rising wages and prices. You see, it's a vicious cycle. If wages go up, then things cost more to make, and you got to sell them for higher prices. And to buy those things, you got to earn more money, so you got to get higher wages. It's vicious, man. But if we all can understand each other a little bit more, the world will be a better place. And there will be more meat for everybody. Nice, bloody, juicy flesh.
Wages and prices often play leapfrog. One jumps up, then the other, which means a steady rise in our cost of living. The Dilly Doll Factory is a happy shop. But Joe, our doll painter friend, seems to be a little down in the mouth, which even shows in his work. Joe is pretty discouraged because the high cost of living makes it harder and harder to make ends meet.
Hiya, Joe, old boy.
Hello.
Better look in that envelope.
Wow, a raise! And just in time to buy the kid a birthday present. What'll I get? Let's see. A dress? Bicycle? Roller skates? Shoes? A book? A doll? A doll! What's the price, miss? I work in a factory that makes this doll. $2 is too much.
I'm very sorry, sir, but your company charged us more for this shipment, so we had to raise our selling price.
We got a wage increase, all right, but it couldn't raise the price that much. It just takes a little wood, rubber, paint, cloth, and a phony wig to make that doll. There's only about 10 cents worth of materials in the whole thing. You pirates, crooks, bandits, you robbers!
You're right about the cost of raw materials in that doll, about 10 cents worth. Raw materials in practically everything we buy are worth little until labor transforms them into finished products. For example, how much do you think the raw materials cost in that car?
Oh, about $300.
You've got a surprise coming. It takes 4.5 tons of coal, 2 3/4 tons of iron ore, 50 pounds of cotton, 14 pounds of cured and finished wool, aluminum, zinc, lead, copper, and countless other raw materials to make an automobile. Without the addition of labor costs, these things are worth about $22. The raw materials require the accumulated labor of thousands of people in countless crafts to transform them into a finished automobile. Miners dig the coal and iron ore. Railroad and maritime workers transport these materials to the steel mill, where workers convert the ore into finished steel. The wages of railroad workers add to the value of steel when it is transported to automobile factories. The cotton that goes into a car accumulates labor cost from the farmer who tills the soil, from workers who sow the seed, and help to raise the cotton. Wages paid to other workers add to the value of the cotton as it is moved from the field to the cotton gin where it is processed. Other workers transport the cotton to the automobile factory. The wool that is used to make a car is worth little while it is still on the sheep. When the labor cost of a sheep shearer is added, the value of the wool is increased by his wages. When all of the parts and materials finally reach the factory for assembly, the labor cost of automobile workers must be added to the price of the car. In the $1,500 automobile, direct and indirect labor costs add up to approximately $1,200, or over 80% of the selling price. That's before taxes. And what happens to the other 20% or $300? Raw material cost, $22. Profit to producers of raw materials and allied industries, $89. Profit to part manufacturers, $47. Profit to local dealer, $77. Profit to car manufacturer, $65. Now, when you add $400 for taxes, the cost is $1,900 to the buyer. Like the dolls you make, an automobile has a low raw material cost and a high labor cost, and that goes for practically everything we buy.
Oh, yeah? Well, what's the labor cost in a buck's worth of steak?
We'll start back at the farm where Bully Boy was raised. The selling price of meat has to include the labor cost in producing the feed, in building fences, and constructing housing for our animal friend. Wages have to be paid to railroad workers who provide our friend with care and courtesy. Preparing Bully Boy's anatomy for the butcher shop costs money, too. The family butcher figures in his wages every time he sells a thick, juicy steak. Forgetting taxes for a moment, the labor cost in a dollar's worth of meat adds up like this. Workers raising beef, 24 cents. Transportation workers, 1/2 cent. Packing house workers, 42 cents. Meat delivery drivers, 1/2 cent. Butcher shop workers, 18 cents. The other 15 cents goes in profits to the retailers, the packers, allied industries, and to the farmers and ranchers. Most of the things we buy accumulate direct and indirect labor costs that add up to 85% of the selling price before taxes are added. Generally speaking, a wage raise means a corresponding rise in prices, unless productivity is increased proportionately.
What do you want, a guy with 4 arms? 4 arms? Say, I got a sensational idea.
To expand productivity, labor and management must work together to develop new ideas and techniques. To expand productivity, capital must finance the creation of more efficient tools and plants. The production of more and better goods at lower costs means that when you get a wage raise, it's a real raise.
A raise? A raise! I want to buy a doll. How much?
Now you've got a real wage raise, because you can buy more with what you earn. With increased productivity, wages can keep ahead of prices.
I'm sure that you've learned a lot, obviously, since you're here enrolled in the Gauntly Video Correspondence College. But with this final installment, at least for now, I'd like to announce the graduation of our inaugural class. Now, everyone, you at home, flip the tassels on your hats and be very proud of yourselves. This is a momentous occasion for us all. And in commemoration of your grand achievement, following me through my video adventures and elucidating all the mysteries of the cosmos in the process, I'm going to perform a little music for you here today. And I know it's usually Ogrod here at the piano, but I think I can get us through this. After all, you deserve it. And so here goes. Listen up, kiddos. Oh yeah, we did it. You and I together. Video Correspondence College complete. Have a great rest of the month. Rest of your lives, now that you've learned all I have to teach. And as always, pleasant nightmares. Bye.
I am the very model of a modern major general. I'm information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I know the kings of England and I put the things historical. From Marathon to Waterloo in Northern and Coracle. I'm very well acquainted with matters mathematical. I understand equations with the simple and quadratical. But on the other hand, I am teeming with a lot of news. With many triple facts about the square of the button. I'm very good at integral and differential calculus. I know the scientific names of beings and inoculus. In short, it matters vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern major general.